almost gone, rumors swirled, the city held its breath, and then one line changed everything. I ain't leaving Cleveland. The Dawg Pound just got its hero back.
Let's talk about loyalty, Browns fans. Let's talk about something you don't see much in this business anymore. Because what we just saw from David Njoku, that raw emotion, that fire, that love for the city of Cleveland, it means something. And you felt it too. This week, the NFL trade deadline came and went, and as rumors swirled, as names got floated and deals were made, David Njoku's name kept popping up. And I'll be honest, for days leading into the deadline, Dawg Pound Nation was on edge. Because if there's one guy you don't want to see wearing another uniform, it's Njoku. Not just because of what he does on the field, but because of what he means to this team. And when that 4 p.m. deadline passed Tuesday and we heard no deal was made, the whole Dawg Pound could finally breathe again. Then came the press conference. And folks, it hit different. Standing there in Berea, pendant on his chest with the Nigerian flag shaped like the state of Ohio, Njoku looked every bit the warrior this city has embraced over 9 seasons. He said it with fire in his voice, pride in his chest. I'm in Cleveland, baby. I'm not going nowhere. I ain't fucking leaving. Let that sit with you. That's not just a quote. That's a declaration. That's a war cry. That's Dawg Pound energy to the bone. This man, drafted back in 2017, 29th overall, has been through it in Cleveland. Coaching changes, quarterback shuffles, injuries, rebuilds, hope, heartbreak. And yet, here he is, still standing, still fighting, still catching passes and throwing blocks, still giving this city everything he's got. This season, he's got 27 receptions for 260 yards, second on the team, and he's tied for the team lead in touchdowns. Even with a struggling offense and QB carousel, Njoku keeps producing, keeps grinding, keeps showing up. And yet, as the deadline loomed, his future was uncertain. That's the part that got to me. Because for all his value, for everything he's done, he still had to live with that fear that it might be over. He said himself, he was terrified. That's how much this team means to him. And that says a lot about the kind of guy Njoku is. But let's not overlook this. The Browns made a clear statement too. Despite a 2-8 record and sitting at the bottom of the AFC North, they didn't sell the house. They didn't unload key pieces. They didn't tank. The only move they made was sending Joe Tryon-Shoyinka to the Bears for a draft pick swap, 6th for 7th, a minor deal. But Njoku? Untouchable. They didn't want to move him, and that matters. Insider Adam Schefter even reported days before the deadline that the Browns had no real interest in trading Njoku. That tells you everything. It tells you that the front office sees what we see, a cornerstone player, a leader, a fighter, a man who still believes this team has fight left in them this season. And now, Njoku's future is even more interesting. He's in the final year of his contract, and when asked if he believes an extension might be in the cards, he said, "I hope so." That's not just player speak. That's a dude who wants to stay. That's someone saying, don't just rent me. Build with me, believe in me. And we should, because this guy has been consistent, he's been vocal, he's been passionate, and he's grown into one of the emotional leaders in that locker room. And let's also be real. Not every player wants to stay in Cleveland long term. Some see it as a stop. Njoku, he sees it as home. So where do we go from here? The Browns need to show him that same loyalty. Lock him up long term. Build around guys who want to be here. Culture matters. Identity matters. And when someone throws on the orange and brown and screams, "I ain't fucking leaving," with tears in his eyes, that's someone you build around. To every young player coming into this locker room, Njoku is the blueprint. Through adversity, through speculation, through doubt, stay loyal, stay tough, stay dog. And to the fans, this moment gave us something we needed. A reminder that not every storyline is about stats or standings. Some are about heart, about roots, about the kind of loyalty that makes us proud to wear the gear and scream for this team every Sunday. David Njoku isn't just still in Cleveland. He's choosing Cleveland. And I don't know about you, but that fires me up. Now, I want to hear from you, Dawg Pound. Do you think the Browns should extend David Njoku this offseason? How much do you value his loyalty and presence on this roster? Let's talk about it in the comments. Smash that like if you're fired up about Njoku staying, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single heartbeat of this team's journey. This is Dawg Pound Daily, where Cleveland speaks loud and loyal.